What's up? It's your girl Kia, and I want to do a quick video about some things going on. And as you can see from the bottom of the title, hi, Omar and we bought a house. Beautiful home. We're very excited about it. But before we post pictures or anything like that, I kind of wanted to give a realistic opinion about buying a home and the process that we kind of went through. You know, on social media, you see everybody who's super excited about I had a baby. We bought a home, we are getting married, it's all these great things, but no one puts a realistic side. No one ever says, like, yeah, we bought a home, but we had to do some crazy stuff, borrow money from family members to get the home, or we had a baby, but we had to go through 9 cycles of IVF, or to get a donor, or whatever, or, you know, we're getting married, but it was so stressful and awful, and it wasn't worth it, or whatever. There's always a backstory. So I kind of want to give the realistic part of buying a home before everybody sees the flashy pictures and the we're blessed and our forever home and here we got the key. Yeah, I get annoyed with all of that. I'm not even lying. I get annoyed with all of it because we got to stop giving people the glossy part where people think, oh, look how great their life is. Like, I wish I could do this and I wish I could do that, because it's messed up. It really is. So we bought a house. We went through Rocket Mortgage. And if I could go to the Rocket Mortgage building and set it on fire, I really would. It was a horrible experience working for them. You see the commercial, oh, it's an easy process. Oh, you got this. Yeah, no, it was not an easy experience. They did not make it an easy process. It was very, very frustrating from start to finish. So at the beginning of this, when we started it, they had this little easy thing where you can get, you know, immediately approved for the amount that you get. And it is instant. So we were like, okay, cool, we're approved for this amount. Awesome, let's move forward. We actually did this, found the home that we're in all within 2 hours of each other. You know, shout out to our realtor, Richard. He was amazing. And we started the process. We started getting everything we needed. We started getting things approved, processes going. Then we find out that because of my career, because I'm an independent contractor, I can no longer be on the loan, which was very odd because I do make very good money. But they said because I have what they called inconsistent work history, because 1 year out of the 6 years I've been an independent contractor, I was a W-2. So if you don't have 2 years of independent contractor work, they consider you inconsistent work history, which I think is dumb, but whatever. And I talked to another mortgage officer about that, and he's like, well, that doesn't make any sense, because if you have those other, your tax returns from those other years you were independent contractor, we can just use that. It's not, it just has to be 2 years. But again, we were going through Rocket Mortgage. So I get removed from the loan, which means a lot of my stuff, if I was going to give money to my husband, it had to be signed and dated and approved, and it was a pain. We also got an FHA loan. FHA loans are fine, are great if you get approved. You get a lower interest rate. Our interest rate is great, and you get a lower down payment. So we got that. But again, it's a long process. All this paperwork you have to give, everything from bank account information has to be signed by the bank, has to show where money came from, when that money went in. It was a lot. And again, no one's walking us through this. No one's explaining why they need it. They're just saying, oh, you just really need it. But why? You just really need it. I'm not really sure, but you need this we didn't get a whole lot of help. And, you know, yes, they have a whole portal and you see what you need, but no one's explaining why you need this. And no one's explaining about why things are getting rejected. We're just seeing this getting rejected, like, okay, well, what do we do because it's got rejected? Then we have to call. They're not really helpful. It gets to the whole get back to you. Another annoying part is when they started needing bank information, I called our mortgage officer, who then told me that we got switched to another person who's now in the processing department. No one informed us that we had a whole new person that we were going to be working with. It was just, oh, well, this person's going to be helping you now. All right, cool. So that person gets on the phone. Her name was Jessica, and Jessica didn't really know anything. She was just reading back to me what was on in the portal. And I told her, I was like, listen, we're going out of the country for our anniversary. We'll be gone out of country for 5 days. If you need anything, you need to let me know now. Because once we're on the cruise, we don't have access to anything. And she said, okay, I will. She didn't. We put our realtor Richard in charge while we were gone because, again, we weren't going to have internet service. We weren't even going to have paperwork that we needed. I'm not dragging my laptop around a cruise. It's not what I wanted to do. Hindsight, I probably would have, but that's a different video. I probably should have for work, but that's a different conversation. So Richard was left in charge. We go out of the country after I told them, yo, If you need anything, you let me know now. I can put it in the portal's message board. We are going out of town. If you need anything, you need to let me know. No one says anything. Richard's handling everything while we're gone. Come to find out, they lost our appraisal. The appraisal had been done by the person who was going to previously buy this home. So we got to keep that appraisal, but it got lost somehow. Our realtor Richard had documentation. He had sent this to them 2 weeks ago, but all of a sudden it comes up missing. So of course he's frustrated. It becomes this contingent situation between the Rocket Mortgage people and our realtor, who's advocating for us and the seller, because he's representing both sides. It got so bad that when we got to Puerto Rico, where we had service, my husband's phone is blowing up with beeps and messages and voicemails from Rocket Mortgage, not to help us, to complain about our realtor. Who, of course, he didn't care. He's like, I don't care what they have to say, and we don't care either. We actually are in Puerto Rico, not only to have a good time, but to see my husband's family who lives there. Instead of being able just to have drinks with them and relax with them, me and my husband are on the phone trying to calm down Rocket Mortgage and talk to our realtor back and forth. The Rocket Mortgage company, Jessica, actually said, well, he's calling and saying that we're incompetent and this and that. And I said, sweetie, he's advocating for us, not for you. And if you can't handle that, I'm not sure what you want me to tell you right now. We could lose this home because of you all losing the appraisal. Oh, we didn't lose it. I'm like, we know it was sent to you 2 weeks ago. So what happened to it? Oh, we just received it this morning. I said, no, you didn't. We have documentation that you got it 2 weeks ago. So don't play that game with me. And I was very straightforward with her, and she started to get flustered. And I said, this process should have been done before we left. And it wasn't. We should have already been in the underwriting process, and we were not. She's like, oh, well, it takes 7 days. August is a high season for people buying homes. And since there's such an influx of this, it takes us a long time, it takes us longer than 7 days. I said, well, Jessica, this is the first time you're telling me this. It's because I'm upset. A week ago when we talked, you said nothing about there being an influx of people wanting mortgages. You're just now telling me this. She's like, oh, well, your realtor should have told you that. I'm like, oh, so our realtor should have told you it's his fault, that he should have informed us a while ago. Oh, no, it's nobody's fault. And I told her straight up, I don't believe anything you have to say. I'm sorry, I don't. So get what you need to get done, because this needs to be at closing when we get back. There's nothing else we need to discuss. You have everything you need. Cut the crap. I will talk to you later. So we continue with our cruise. And of course, we're stressed out the rest of the cruise and everything. But we did find out magically when we got back that the closing was set for the end of the month. Everything was fine. Everything had gone through. Sadly, someone did get terminated from their job because they did lose the appraisal. The appraisal was done 2 weeks ago, and the person lost it, did misplace it. And it is never my intention to get somebody fired from their job. Never. Like, as someone who works in the customer service kind of field as an account manager, I never want to have somebody lose their job, because I know how it goes. But it happened, and I do feel bad about that. It should have been a teachable moment, but maybe something's happened before. I don't know the ins and outs of everything, but someone to lose their job. So we make it to closing. So here's another thing I want to let people know, because I don't think a lot of new home buyers know this, and me and Omar didn't realize this, because we had a certain set of money saved off to the side to buy a home. We didn't realize about the closing costs. Your closing costs could almost be as much as your down payment, and you need to be prepared for that. So don't just think that I have this amount of money saved, this is to buy a home. You need to double that amount to make sure that you can cover the closing costs. Our realtor was really good, because he kind of pulled some strings and got some things done for us to cover the closing costs on the buyer's side. So it was good. It worked out. We're in our home. It's a beautiful home. We're very happy, but it was stressful. It was a very stressful experience. I mean, I have broken out into hives. I have had acne issues. I have just been so stressed out, couldn't sleep, couldn't eat, couldn't keep anything in, because it's definitely stressful. Another reason why it was stressful is because we had to be out of our rental property to then move into this new home. Like, we had paused everything and let everybody know, like, yo, we're cutting this off and it's enough on the state, and we didn't want to be running around. But we also use a company called The Closing Boutique, who are really great. They're the ones who walked us through every single thing, and were really, really awesome, and really helped us understand the process of buying home. And they were really sweet. They made it special on the closing day, which I know most companies do. But that was pretty much the process. I would not recommend Rocket Mortgage to anybody. Don't use Rocket Mortgage. Find another company that can give you some more personalized attention, where you're not just a number on a board, where they'll really explain. Because I have other friends My friend Madeline, who will probably watch this video, hi Maddie. She bought a home and it didn't go through the first time. And then her mortgage company acts like, no, 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 don't stress. We got this. You might have to do A, B, and C, but we'll work this out for you. We'll get this done for you. Do not worry. And this really helps her walk through the next steps and what she needs to do and really hands-on with her. And they actually, her mortgage company actually gave me advice about what could be done about me not being on the loan. So that's really it. So we will be posting pictures of our house after this, but I just wanted to do this first and just let people know it's great, yay, forever home. But it was so stressful. I never want to do this ever again. I will never be doing this ever again. Yeah, it's crazy. I see why people either stay in their home forever no matter what happens, or they just continue to rent because it's great to own, but it's a lot of stress to get through the process. So yeah, so again, pictures will be coming soon. I know Omar has some. And yeah, I will talk to you guys later. Have a great Tuesday.